I am confident. I am worthy. I am right. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. You all are probably wondering what that was, right? That was my affirmations. A huge part of my morning routine up until a few months back. But it wasn't always like this. There were a particular series of events that led me to this point. So let's travel back in time. Somewhere back in the summer, I was playing cricket with my friends and I was on strike. I swung the bat hard, thinking the ball went for a six, only to see that the opponents were celebrating. The ball had hit the stumps, but that wasn't the problem. The ball, after hitting the stumps, had rolled over into a gutter. I had lost my ball. I mean, the ball that my dad had got me just a day back. I go home and I tell him, Dad, can I get some money? I need to buy a new ball. He goes, what happened to the one that I got you yesterday? Well, I hit the ball for a six and it went so far that it got lost. Okay, but I can't buy you a new ball just like that. You should have searched for it harder. But Dad, it's just 50 rupees. Not that big of a deal. He laughs and he says, Son, it's not just 50 rupees. You reach a point in your life when you know the value of every single penny that you spend. When you reach that stage, I want you to think of this. Can I have the ball now? You see, I was too young to understand what my dad had meant. He taught me many such lessons over the years, and I'd grown super close to him. Using his principles, I built discipline, and I went ahead to write and publish two books in my ninth grade. I developed a newfound passion for writing. Everything was perfect, and he was super proud of me. That's the thing about life. It has a way of picking your happiness up, throwing it down, stomping on it, and reminding you every single time who the boss is. 4th August 2020. I lost my dad. My memories from around that time are blurred, as if my brain is desperately trying to escape it. I shut myself from the outside world. I stopped writing. I stopped making new friends or forming new bonds. Every time someone asked me about my dad, I would tell them that he's working in Bangalore. I was too afraid to accept it, let alone say it out loud. And yes, I was in the first stage of grief, denial. That's when the mirror came to my rescue. Every morning I would look in the mirror and say, I'm confident, I'm worthy, and I am right. Help me give that temporary boost of confidence, which wasn't real, but it worked just fine. I started living in a false sense of reality where every time adversity hit, I would run to the mirror and the mirror would give me a mask, a personality that I would wear and feel comfortable. I painted a picture of myself with the person on the other side of the mirror, so I wanted to become. Ideal and perfect, this guy was always right. 2 years passed by this way, and around this time I was stepping into a new chapter of my life, engineering. Reality hit me when my classmate from my PU college didn't recognize me. Imagine this, we were in the same class for 2 years, but I was so quiet and insignificant that he didn't remember me at all. At that moment, I knew that I had to change. I knew that I didn't want to go unnoticed in these 4 years of college. So I did what I always did. I looked in the mirror once again, but this time I didn't do those affirmations. You see, running to the mirror and asking it to give me a new personality was very much similar to the younger me running to my dad and asking him to give me a new ball. Little did I know, it was never about buying a new ball, but it was always about searching harder for the last one. 8 months down the line, I realized how wrong it was to constantly tell myself I'm right, even at times where I might be wrong. Once I stopped doing these affirmations, I started making actual progress. I resumed writing again. I'm working on a new book and I'm looking forward to publishing it soon. I started making friends and forming new bonds. Now, I've become the person that people ask to shut up. Most of all, I don't tell people that my dad works in Bangalore. My grief ended with acceptance. So now the question is, was I able to become the guy on the other side of the mirror? Well, not really. But I realized that this perfect ideal guy is a sham and can only be found in fake Tinder profiles. He simply does not exist. Our flaws make us who we are. So now every time adversity hits, I don't look in the mirror and say, I am right. Instead, I face reality and I ask myself, am I right? Or am I wrong? Or am I standing on the fine line separating the two? Am I right, Toastmaster of the day?